and he just made it weird, and that is my cue to leave. I'm out.
Hi, our one-hit wonder that was probably not a wonder. Welcome to Making It Weird.
Hi, I'm Amber.
I'm Dwayne.
Nice to kind of meet you all, I guess.
This is our introduction. So we're going to talk about ourselves, and then we're going to get into dating horror stories.
Which Amber has a lot. Hi, I'm Amber.
It's because you a hoe.
Was a hoe.
Okay, close to a hoe.
Ex-retired.
Yeah, you got a relationship now.
I am in a relationship.
So, I'm going to have Amber start with this.
Hi.
She's going to describe herself kind of a little bit better, and then I'm going to do the same, and then I'm going to question why.
Yeah, we always question why Dwayne does things.
True. I mean, you're not wrong.
So there is music playing in the background, y'all. We are ADHD as hell.
Yeah, if we don't have music playing, we can't focus.
Yeah. So,
Audio sound.
hi, I'm Amber. I'm weird, and
You like dogs?
I do. I love dogs. I have.
You've had 72 dogs?
It's not 72. I've had 7, all of which have either passed on into the next life, or they have.
Well, you've only rehomed 3,
I had to.
but it's because you kind of got forced out of your last place.
Yeah, because my lovely ex-husband. So,
Anyways, let's continue off of that. Let's not talk about that.
we're not going to touch that. We're not touching that this episode.
No.
We're not going near that with a 10-foot pole.
In the future, maybe.
In the future.
Yeah, you're a CNA nurse.
I am.
Medical technician.
All of those? Yes.
Yes.
I currently work in a group home for adults with autism and disabilities.
Aw.
I am the assistant manager.
I'm sorry.
You know, I love it, TBH. I absolutely adore what I do.
Well, that's always a good thing. What I will say is a little bit about myself so we can get this ball rolling. Don't look at me like that. I am weird. This is called making it weird.
Yeah.
I make it weird. I've owned dogs, cats. I've owned one cat. Her name was Satan or Lucifer. She was great until she wasn't. And then she was like, haha, I'm gonna die. It's true.
It's so dark.
I've had 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on my 5th dog right now. Okay, we had 2 at one time, and then I had one that passed when I was like 12, and then I had.
Oh, we're counting the
have
dogs from our
Peanuts.
childhood?
Why would you not?
Oh, that's about 7. Because I had Saudi, Kaya, Cookie, and then I had Bandit, and then I had Bear, Zeppelin, Mamas. I'm on my 8th dog.
Yeah, I have a little dog named Peanut,
She's
and
demonic.
she's demonic to everybody except me because she loves me to death.
She's
And yeah, she's great to me, only me. Well, and my child. My child will like bully the crap out of her, and she's like, hee 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 hee, and then bites him because she's like, that's enough. I said enough. So I'm a hunter.
great parent.
I'm a parent. I wouldn't say great parent.
You're a fabulous parent.
I'm a pain in the ass parent. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Not even 10 minutes in, I've already swore, but let's keep going. I mean, I guess the A word is not a bad word anymore.
Today's episode of Making It Weird, sponsored by do you need a comfortable place to stay with good company?
Wow.
Come to Amber's living room. We'll leave the light on, pull out the couch for you.
Anyways, so we're going to get into our dating history. And because Amber is my bestest friend in the whole entire world, well, second.
Yeah, it's okay. I know my place.
The only reason you're second is because the first I've known for like almost 20 years. So, fair. Anyways, so Amber is going to start because she always starts. She never finishes first, but she always starts it.
Thank you.
Am I wrong?
I typically finish first. I make sure I finish first.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It really
So-
depends on the situation.
I think we should talk about 2 and then talk about Jesus Boy. Deal?
Jesus.
Okay.
Just gonna unleash that bag of trauma. Let's
Oh yeah,
start with
that's gonna be your 3rd story.
Okay, so Baby shrimp or
Oh, you should start with baby shrimp. That's a good
okay.
one.
So I was in a hoe phase real bad.
One of many.
The one of 4. Thank you.
So many.
It had been a minute. Leave me alone. This dude and I hit it off.
She was on a dry spell.
I was. It was like 6 months. And me and this dude, like, we hit it off. You know how you do on like dating apps. Like, we sit there chit chat. We went on a couple dates. And mind you, I may be a hoe, retired hoe. Usually, I don't let them smash on the first date, though.
Fair. But also, what the situation where you're like, hell, it's time, was more of the hyping up this man did.
Oh, yeah.
He hyped you up like...
This man hyped his game up so hard. Like, are you ready for, are you ready for this? Like, it's gonna be amazing. Like, I'm gonna blow your mind. Like, hyped it up.
Like, porn star status, A game.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, he was like, are you ready for this 10 inches? Like, you so excited for this? Like, it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna blow your mind. And I was hyped. I was like, oh yeah, let's do this. And so, mind you, I lived an hour away from this man. So I got off work Friday night. I got off from my second job, because at this point I was working 2 jobs to, like, make the bills.
Yeah.
You know? And so I got off my second job. It's like 9-10 o'clock at night. He's like, we're having a party. You should come through. He's like, and while you're here, we can slip away and do some stuff. And I was like, yes.
Deal.
So deal. And so I drove an hour in my little beater.
I'm not gonna lie, I've driven, I think, close to 3 hours for some putang, so I get it.
Yeah, so like, I drove an hour for this man. Pull up, there's a party going. All his roommates, their girls are there, all their friends are there. Like, it was great. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm getting to know people.
Yeah.
And this man tells me, he's like, hey, we're like, I'm not even buzzed. Not even buzzing. Like, we're drinking.
Yeah. You're feeling yourself, but not anything crazy.
Yeah, like, I was not drunk to the point where I could not drive safely.
Yeah.
Like, I was way under the legal limit still.
And then he pulls you, he goes, all right, let's go in the room so I can show you my Punisher.
Yeah, and he was like making it sound like it was 10 inches. It was so good. We were so excited. I was stoked.
Clothes start coming off.
Things are happening. Clothes start coming off. I'm getting ready.
And then when he drops down,
he pulled his pants down, and I just went. I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, is it hard?"
To be fair, it was a Punisher. It was just a 2-centimeter Punisher.
Yeah. And so I asked him, I was like, when you said 10 inches, did you mean like centimeters, millimeters? Like, because ain't no way. He's like, no, this is it. This is my 10 inches. And I laughed.
I mean, I get some people don't work in construction, but you should know what 10 inches look like.
Mm-hmm. You should. And so he tells me, he's like, no. I was like, oh, are you ready? And he was like, yeah, I'm ready. Like, everything's good to go. He's like, this is me hard. And I was like, bruh, ain't no way. And so I started laughing. I put on my clothes while I laughed.
She basically said no.
I basically said
chuckled
no. And he was like, where are you going? I was like, I'm leaving. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, it's not worth it. Like, I can go back home, hit somebody else up. Because I had a roster.
Of course he did.
I had a full-blown roster. Like, we were rocking basically a baseball team. And I start laughing, and he got so offended. Now, mind you,
Okay, to be fair, I would...
him getting offended. I would have gotten offended, too.
I would have been offended if she was just like, no. I mean, that's never happened. But mostly because I underhype the best thing ever. It's micro. It's tiny.
It's so small.
It's the tiniest. Now, mind you, I'm not big. Shut up. I'm not big.
You're average.
Sure. Yep.
You're above average.
Anyways, so I'm gonna still hype it down.
Yes, Sebastian, we know you're above average. Yeah.
Anyways, So, dudes, hype it down. Don't hype it up.
Hype it down.
Because
Make it seem
even if
so
it's
small.
average, but you've hyped it so low, and then they're like, oh, a pleasant surprise. It's not huge, or it's not super small. Fantastic. If you hype it up, you have to live up to the hype. If you hype it down, anything above, you're golden.
It's golden. Like, it's Gucci. And so, like, I laughed. And I walked out. And I was laughing. And
Out of the
on
room.
my way, walking out, in my head, this sounded so good at the time. And I still laugh about this. We still laugh about it.
Because it's ridiculous of what you're petty. You're a queen of petty. Because he's hyped it up so much.
He hyped it up so hard.
When she said she walked out, she didn't walk out of the house. She walked out of the room. And on the way out, from the room to the front door.
Baby Shark, but I changed the lyrics to Baby Dick. So I'm walking out going, Baby Dick do 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 do, Baby Dick do 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 do.
Mind you, this is a
Dick.
house
Yeah, full of people.
of men and women that he's friends with.
So his friends are laughing. He's sitting there calling me all sorts of just heinous names. Yeah. I walked out.
I wasn't even gonna
laughed
hit
the whole way in my
anyways.
car, saying I wasn't gonna let you hit it. I wasn't gonna hit it anyway. I wasn't gonna do nothing. Sitting there being like, you're a bitch, you're this, you're that. And I was like, cool. Glad you feel that way. So sorry that you did not live up to your hype that you had hyped your shit up to.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, that's the part that killed me, was he sat there and hyped it so hard.
I guess at that point it's just like, dude, no.
You know it's small. Don't overhype it.
Just talk about other things that you're gonna do. Don't talk about the size if you don't have the size.
Yeah. I used to be a size queen. I am not
To be
anymore.
fair, he could have been just delusional.
I think he was extremely delulu in my car, and I continued to laugh. I called my then best friend, and I was like, bitch, you will not believe. She's like, so that was quick. And I was like, no, we didn't do anything. We didn't get past, like, second base.
We got down to the stripping phase and that stopped there.
Yeah. And so, like, she was laughing, and I'm laughing. He proceeds to text me the whole way home, blowing me up, being like, you're a bitch, I wasn't gonna even hit it, like, maybe I was gonna do stuff, but, like, I decided that I didn't want to as soon as I saw it, like, like, just being rude. And, like, granted, I deserved it. Hardcore deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was funny.
Making It Weird, brought to you by your neighborhood crack dealer. Discounts are always on Tuesdays. So, I feel like the second one should be the plaque.
Fuck it. Okay. Yeah, so like he said, I'm the queen of petty. I am so aggressively
If you thought
petty.
the last story was petty, this one will blow it out of the water. I'm not even joking. This is level of petty that should be a crime.
Yeah.
So, like she said, she doesn't usually hit on the first, but
No, we'd gone on like 2 dates. Me and this other dude. This is whole new dude. We gone on a couple
whole new
dates.
dude.
And he invited
He
me
didn't
over to
hype
his
himself
house.
up.
He didn't hype it up. And like we went over to his house. He invited me over for dinner, made me a typical like gym bro dinner. Plain ass chicken, rice, and like,
White boy dinner.
white boy dinner. Mind you, I'm white, but I don't cook
Yeah.
like I'm white because I was raised by Hispanics.
You're like,
I'm
oh,
spicy
I
white.
had a good. You're like adopted Mexican.
Yeah, I am. Like, that's...
Well, I mean, technically you are
I
adopted
technically am
Mexican.
adopted Mexican. Like, so this dude cooked me dinner, and, like, I ate it, because I'm not rude, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I'm not rude. You gonna cook me dinner, like, I may not like it, but I'll eat it.
Yeah,
Like, you put in
I've had
effort.
plenty of
You
those
used
meals.
your groceries on me. And so we're sitting there, we're chilling in his room, like we're sitting there talking, like nothing sexy is going on.
Yeah, like normal.
We're chilling like normal. And I just like felt the gush. And girls, you know what I'm talking about. Where it's like, shit, did my period just hit? Or is my vagina like doing its normal thing?
Yeah, like.
So I was like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom.
Am I
Where's your
feeling
bathroom?
myself or am I feeling myself? You know.
Like, so I was like, hey, can I use your bathroom? He was like, oh yeah. So he tells me where the bathroom is. My period had started, and she was like a week early. And I was like, be so for real.
She's like, I'm not letting you hit.
And so I came back in the room. I didn't have my stuff with me. I didn't have pads, tampons, nothing. And I was like, I need to go home. Like, I'm sorry to cut this night off early. I gotta go take care of this. And he was like, oh, well, what happened? And I was like, I'm not really comfortable telling you, like, things. And he kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And I was like, dude, my period hit. My period's here. And he was like, oh, shit.
Looks at her so seriously.
Dead serious. Looks me in my soul and goes, well, doesn't your period stop at midnight and start back up at 6 a.m.? I looked at him.
And it wasn't a joke.
No, he was.
It was
serious.
100% dead serious. Someone told him that periods stop at midnight, like take a break, and then start back up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Only thing I can think of is if a woman's like, yeah, when you're sleeping, it kind of holds in there, and so it kind of stops. So I usually go to bed at midnight, and then at 6 a.m. I wake up and it does its thing, which some women can. Giving him a break.
No, he gets no breaks. He gets no break. This man was so dumb. And I was like, oh yeah. And I was being sarcastic. And he took it as like the Bible. And I told him, I was like, oh yeah. And an elf pops out of my coochie every month.
Her being sarcastic.
And throws glitter in my face and says, you're free for another month. And then runs away. That's how Santa gets his elves. And he looked me in my soul, in my
That's how Santa gets his elves, is put up.
Looks me in my pupils and goes, wait, for real? Santa's real?
So
I called him the most, to this day, this is my favorite insult. So if I call you this, just know you're dumb. I called him. I was like, no, you glue eating fuck. No, that's not how this works. I called laughing. I called my friend laughing. And I was like, I was dying. And he was like, you're so petty. I was like, but wait, I got a better idea of what I can do. So I blocked him on everything except text. Went on Amazon.
Now, there's a reason. There's a reason you didn't block him on text, because you wanted a response.
Yes. So I didn't block him on text message. And I went home, got on Amazon, spent like $50-$60 on a plaque. And I had customized.
No. A custom plaque for this man.
And it said, dumbest motherfucker in the world.
And put his name and sent it to him.
I sent it to him. I mailed it to him. And because I still had his address in my GPS. It's like, I drove over to his house. And so I texted him when I was getting a notification, when I got a notification that it was out for delivery. I said, hey, you should be home. I have a package coming for you. And he was like, oh, really? Like, he was so excited. And then he opened it. And I got a slew of text messages. You bitch. You fuck you. You oh my gosh. See you next Tuesday. Like, so many names. So many
and then
things.
Recorded himself, or had his friend record himself hitting the plaque with a bat.
In his driveway.
Yeah.
I then blocked him and proceeded to like forward it to everybody that I knew and just died laughing.
Making It Weird, sponsored by Raven and Associates. If you have a bone to pick, we'll get it for you. So I'm gonna intro this story because it was so traumatic that she called me, told me, and she forgets a lot of the details. So at this time, she does not have a car.
No, my car was in the shop.
Yes. So she is taking tracks. She takes the tracks to this man. He picks her up. They drive. They hang out. All is good until, they get back and they do their thing. And that's fine. None of that is even part of the story.
Did our thing. Had a grand old time.
And it's the hanging out after.
I mean, granted, he did not last long, but
totally beside the point.
Totally beside the point. Irrelevant. Like, whatever. You made me come.
Yeah.
Like, multiple times.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Here is where it gets super weird. So
after he was like, hey, do you mind if I card? Do you mind if I out on my balcony? I was like, no, I don't mind at all. Just don't do it around me. Because, like, what I do for work, I can't be around it. Like
Well, and just in
she's
general,
not too like.
just in general, you've been trying to keep away from it, so it's fair.
And so this man comes back in, and he was like, I was looking at his whiteboard that he had, and I was like, this is some serial killer shit. Texting Dwayne, like, help.
Yeah, she's texting me, Dwayne. And so
like, guys, help.
she's telling,
What the hell?
okay, texting, oh man, this is weird. Okay, this is where, because she kind of blocks this out.
I do.
So
Trauma.
I don't hear anything about this until she gets to the track station, because this is why.
I called Dwayne, and I was like, homie.
She's like, stay on the phone until he leaves and I can get on the right train, because I do not trust him. And here's what she tells me.
I went through 3 trains. I waited for hours.
Yes, because he stayed, and then he finally left. So this is what happened: is after they do their thing, he starts talking about, "Hey, I do mushrooms, not microdosing, not doing like one thing of mushrooms, doing a thing or two. He does
like
half a pound
in a week.
in a week, but what he sometimes does is go in the mountains, does an entire half
Rips his
pound,
balls off.
and in one of those sessions trips so hard he saw God, and God told him that he is the second coming of Christ, and that he will have a church,
And everybody will know it's fake.
and everyone will know it's fake,
Like,
but be there.
But be there. And, like, will give him money and support him.
And that he is the second coming. How are you fake and the second coming?
A serial killer shit.
Serial killer
So
dumb.
Manson shit.
It's just, I don't even know.
Manson.
Crazy.
That's all that went through my head when he was telling me this. I was like, he's the next Charles
Oh yeah,
Manson.
so she waits for the train. Didn't you get mugged too?
That was another time when I was headed home from my job.
Oh yeah, that's
Because
right.
my car was still, this was like not even 3 days later. I went to work and like I was on my way home, and mind you, like my car was still in the shop. There was a lot wrong with my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, still have it. Love that car. But like I was literally like 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 at night, I'm walking through like downtown, not a great area of
Yeah.
Salt Lake City, and this man goes, knew somebody was following me, and I was like, oh, he's just headed to the train like me. And he grabbed the back of my backpack / purse, like the backpack purse thing, and yanks it, proceeds to yank out a chunk of my hair. And then, like, it was so bad. Like, it was so scary. Like, he's pulling my hair. He's trying to get my bag off me. I'm freaking out. I'm screaming. I have, like, a security alarm system on my keys. I have mace, and like my mace had like a seatbelt cutter, a window breaker, and then like the pepper spray.
Yeah.
And then I had like a second thing on my keys where it's like you pull a pin. It's called a birdie. Girls, I recommend you get one. Actually, not even just for the girls. I recommend everybody gets one. And I pull the pin out of it, and it starts like vibrating and letting out this like high pitched like scream, and it's flashing.
I know what those are.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have one. My mom got me one for Christmas one year, and like I'd never used it until then. And like I ran screaming and crying, ran to the train station, and I called Dwayne, and I was crying.
Yeah, I almost had to pick her up because I was like, I don't know, I was in the middle of something. That's why I couldn't.
But I was also texting my current boyfriend, and so like
Sebastian.
I'm texting him, and I'm like, oh my god, this was so scary. And he was like, are you okay? And I was like freaking out. He's like, do I need to come get you? I was like, no, you're like 45 minutes away from me right now. Like, I'll be okay. I'm gonna hop on the train. Like, so scary. And all I could think, like, in my head was, oh my god, it was that dude that I just hooked up with. Like, I thought it was him.
To be fair, I'd probably think the same. It wasn't.
It wasn't. It was some random homeless dude. Today's episode of Making It Weird is brought to you by 2 idiots in a handbasket with a dream. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Oh, yes. So yeah, so just crazy. You've had
I got some wild stories.
most of mine. They're not really crazy. Like I won't say I don't hook up on the first date because sometimes I do. I'm not gonna lie.
Rarely I do.
Usually there's like a date or stuff. But sometimes like, things happen. You know, just the chemistry's there, and you just do things. One, I think like most of the naughty stuff was great, fantastic, but it ended up, I think she mostly just used me as a hookup, and then when she was kind of done with me, she was like, okay, this is not going to continue, which is totally fine, as long as she let me know that that's what it was. She's like, yeah, I don't really see a thing here, it's kind of just a hookup thing. Cool. Or like, you seem like a safe dude to do this stuff with. I would have not mind just continuing it that way. Once in a while we'll message back and forth a little bit, but not much. I have traveled a little bit to get some. I gotta say the best one, and it will always be the best one, but after I realized how racist she was and other things, it had to end. Because after I think like the third time seeing her, she started saying some like Bible Belt racist stuff.
We love the Bible Belt.
Because she grew up in the country, and
she grew up in the South.
Well, no, she grew up this country.
Oh,
like,
Utah country.
Utah country. It was not surprising. So that was probably the best BJ I've ever had in my entire life. And I don't like BJs, so there is that.
Baloney. You like BJs. Every man likes head.
I don't.
What?
Other than, the thing is I have pleaser. And I'm a pleaser in such a way of, if I'm the only one getting pleased, it's not pleasurable. So unless I'm doing something to you at the same time, nah. And yeah, so... it's not my favorite.
Okay, what about the married woman who was like poly, who was polyamorous? The one that you like took the lookout point?
The one, okay, so she was cool. She lived like Tooele. She was super cool, but it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna just get a hookup. It was like, no, you're going to properly date me. And she even told me this, like, you are going to take me on a proper date, and we are not, and I told her we're not hooking up on the first date. Like, that's not how it happened. Did some things happen? Yeah, you know, things. I'm a horny asshole. Anyways, so I took her out to dinner. I got her some drinks. I opened up her car door to come to the restaurant.
The gentleman.
I think we went to Chili's. Either way, we went to Chili's, hung out, had a couple drinks, ate food, talked a little bit. I took her to, it's the point, if you live in Utah, this is really good. Go on was it I-80? Yes, I-80. Well, there's the 201 and the I-80. Go I-80, go to 700 West, 7500 West. Turn off there and kind of just park right in between Magna and Tooele. It is a gorgeous, it smells a little bit because
Salt Lake, the Great Salt Lake.
But it's not really that bad right there, but because you're not like that close to pick a spot.
Kind of by where the new prison is.
Yeah, it's right by the new prison, which I've been to, and it's huge. Anyways, so kind of there's a bunch of pull off spots. Pull off one of there, and it is a gorgeous sunset. You don't see any of the city. It's right off the water. You can see the mountains still. So pretty. Took her there. We talked to her a little bit, and then after the sunset, we drove back to my house, and I was like, hey, it's nothing happening. Things happen outside, not in a car.
Details. Posh.
I'm a private but public person. If I could do stuff outside where I could get caught, which I kind of did, I will, because it's a little bit of a kink, not gonna lie. But so she was really cool, but it was crazy. Polly, I think we met up a couple times, and then my depression hit, and it just ruined everything like it usually does.
As depression does.
Yeah, she was way cool though. Polly, I met her. I bumped into her a couple times. Yeah. Making it weird. Sponsored by Raven and Associates. If you have a bone to pick, we'll get it for you. I'm a little bit of a hoe when it comes to it. I have a couple. My dating story is really not that funny or cool.
Mine are just, how do I find these men?
I either end up with like separated women, married women, or oh, I'm out of this relationship, and then you kind of find out they're really not out of this relationship. I'm not. That's why I'm just staying single for a minute. My new rule is you got to be fully divorced. You got to be
so far from in a relationship for you to touch.
And I want to make sure that like you're done with your last relationship.
Yeah.
Full. Which some women tell me that, and then you get into the relationship and you realize, no, you're not even close to being done with that relationship. It is what it is. But I'm taking some time. I don't need to be doing anything like that. So
we're gonna move on past.
We're definitely gonna move on. So we want to do a couple segments, but we guys, you know what? We need your guys' help. So we're making it weird, correct? Okay, so we have an email, makingitweird@gmail.com.
Making It Weird podcast.
makingitweirdpodcast@gmail.com. What we would need from you, is you to message in. We need a phone number. Now you're wondering, why do we need phone numbers?
We want your ex's phone numbers. We want your like second date phone numbers, that hookup, like
that guy or woman that just drove you. You're like, man, this is the person of my life.
We want the ones that got away.
And they're just not messaging you back. And you're wondering, okay, this sounds super familiar. Yes, we're getting this idea from the Brooke and Jubal well, I mean, it's from Brooke and Jubal, Jubal and Jeff, and the Jubal show. I'm just gonna yell it all out there. We're taking the idea. We're not stealing the idea. I'm letting you guys know, yes, we got this idea from someone else, but it's a great idea. We're gonna call it the fumbled hookup.
I like it.
Yeah.
Fumbled hookups. We want to know. Oh, we're so nosy.
We are like nosy. Email us.
When it's not our drama, email us. We have an Instagram, which I will be making go live today or tomorrow.
If you still have access to TikTok, we'll probably be on there. We're on probably other things. We'll show
us,
you.
Message us. We'll be going. I'll be having all of our socials and our email go live tonight.
Even if you just want us to talk about your story and you have a good story to tell.
Oh yeah, we want your like fumbled
100%.
hookups, like your first hookup where like I don't like the dude hyped it up like me. I want to know.
Tell us about your fumbled hookups, and if you don't want your name out there, we won't. If you want your name out there because you think it's funny, we'll do that too. You just have to, in the caption, tell us what it is. Hey, this is a fumble hookup, or this guy won't message me back, or this woman won't message me back, and then just say anonymous or non-anonymous. And then
we'll even use fake names. We'll use your fake names.
Yep, whatever fake name you want to use, we'll use your fake name.
We'll do it.
Yep.
We'll do it for you. We'll get the drama. We'll get to the bottom of it, of why they never called you back.
Let us know, and we'll start putting that in our episodes. We don't care. That's some funny stuff. So there's places to find us. We have our email. We have our Instagram. If you
still have TikTok, I will be making a TikTok.
We have TikTok, so if you have TikTok and have the option of seeing us, cool. But we'll probably make a Clapper, or we have Instagram. We'll probably do a Facebook page. We'll put all those links. Anywhere we can find us, we're going to put on the screen right now. Okay, sweet. So now you know all the Simnias. Fantastic. Any last comments, concerns?
Wrap it before you tap it.
Wrap it before you tap. That's good. That's good advice.
Don't add to the population. Also, don't subtract from the population if you're doing a hookup this weekend, y'all. If you get arrested, you had a good time.
That doesn't mean go get arrested.
That doesn't mean go get arrested. But if you do end up getting arrested, like, it means you had a good night.
Just make sure you have the bail money. Anyways, this is Making It Weird.
I'm Amber.
I'm Dwayne, and goodbye.
Goodbye.